Tema, identifying the most common car electrical problems and suggest what you can do if you have these problems. Curso, inglés. Instructor, Venancio Morales Roberto Carlos. Estudiante, Choque Mejía Juan Paul. ID, 1620331. Semestre. Diagnosing Automotive Electrical Issues, a Practical Guide. Welcome, future automotive technicians. This presentation will equip you with the knowledge to identify and address common electrical problems in modern vehicles. We will explore key symptoms, diagnostic approaches, and practical solutions, technical vocabulary, and problem-solving skills. Agenda: what we will cover. 1. Introduction to car electrical systems, understanding the basics of how your car's electrical system functions. 2. Common electrical problems identified, highlighting the most frequent issues you will encounter. 3. Symptom-based diagnosis, interpret symptoms to pinpoint the problem source. 4. Practical troubleshooting and solutions, what you should do when faced with an electrical fault. 5. Key takeaways and next steps, summarizing essential knowledge and recommending further practice. The electrical foundation. Every modern vehicle relies on a complex electrical system to operate. At its core, the battery stores chemical energy and converts it into electrical energy to start the engine and power accessories when the engine is off. The alternator then generates electricity to recharge the battery power to the electrical components while the engine runs. Without these, your car simply does not function. The starter motor draws a large current from the battery to crank the engine. Fuses protect circuits from overcurrent, while relays allow a small current to control a larger one. Wires and connectors form, transmitting power and signals throughout the vehicle. You should understand each component's role. Common electrical problems. Dead battery, the car does not start, or lights are dim. This often occurs due to old age, leaving lights on, or a faulty charging system. You should check battery terminals for corrosion. Alternator failure, the battery warning light illuminates on the dashboard. Components malfunction while driving. The alternator cannot recharge the battery or supply enough power. You must test the charging system's output. Faulty lighting, headlights, tail lights, or interior lights do not work. This is typically due to a blown fuse, a burned-out bulb issue. You should inspect the fuse box and bulb filaments. Starter motor issues, the engine cranks slowly or makes a clicking sound but does not start. This could indicate a problem with the starter motor, its solenoid, or its electrical connections. You should inspect the starter connections. Blown fuses, specific electrical components, like the radio or stop working. Fuses are safety devices that blow when a circuit overloads. You should always replace a blown fuse with one of the correct amperage. Wiring problems, intermittent electrical faults or components that randomly stop working. Rodent damage, chafing, or corrosion can affect. You must trace wires to identify breaks or shorts. Symptom-based diagnosis. Effective diagnosis begins with careful observation of symptoms. What does the car do or not do? Listen to sounds, observe dashboard warning lights, and feel for unusual vibrations. No crank, no start if the engine does not turn over at all, the battery charge, battery terminals, and the starter motor connections. A flat battery is the most common cause. Crank, no start, the engine cranks, but does not fire up. This indicates a problem with the fuel delivery, ignition system, or engine timing. You should verify fuel pressure and spark at the intermittent electrical issues. Components work sometimes, then stop. This often points to loose connections, corroded terminals, or faulty relays. You should meticulously inspect wiring harnesses for damage. Dashboard indicators. Battery warning light. If this light comes on while driving, it means the charging system, alternator, is not properly charging the battery. You should get it checked immediately to avoid a breakdown. Check engine light, CL, while not solely electrical, the CL issues with sensors, wiring, or components that are part of the electrical system. You should use an OBD2 scanner to read fault codes. ABS/traction control lights. These lights illuminate if there is a problem with the anti-lock braking system or traction control, often linked to wheel speed sensors or their wiring. You should not ignore these safety warnings. 1. Replace blown fuses. Always replace with a fuse of the identical amperage rating. Never use a higher rated fuse, as this can cause severe damage or fire. You must investigate why the fuse blew in the first place. 2. Clean and secure connections. Ensure all electrical connections, starter, alternator, ground points, are clean and tight. Loose or corroded connections are a primary cause of electrical faults. You should apply dielectric grease to prevent future corrosion. 3. Professional diagnostic scan. For complex issues, especially those involving the check engine, should use a professional diagnostic scanner to retrieve specific fault codes. These codes provide valuable clues for targeted repair. 1. Replace blown fuses. Always replace with a fuse of the identical amperage rating. Never use a higher rated fuse, as this can cause severe damage or fire. You must investigate why the fuse blew in the first place. 2. Clean and secure connections. Ensure all electrical connections, starter, alternator, ground points, are clean and tight. Loose or corroded connections are a primary cause of electrical faults. You should apply dielectric grease to prevent future corrosion. 3. Professional diagnostic scan. For complex issues, especially those involving the check engine, should use a professional diagnostic scanner to retrieve specific fault codes. These codes provide valuable clues for targeted repair. Conclusion, key takeaways and next steps. Understand the basics. A strong grasp of how the battery, alternator, and starter function is crucial. Observe symptoms carefully. Symptoms are your first clue. They often point directly to the problematic circuit or component. A diagnostic process. Always approach electrical problems systematically, inspect, test, and then repair. Prioritize safety. Disconnect the battery before working on electrical systems to prevent shocks or short circuits. Continuous learning. Automotive technology constantly evolves. You should be practicing and learning new diagnostic techniques. Thank you for your attention. We hope this guide helps you confidently diagnose and resolve common car electrical problems.